Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Bainat Midday News, coming to you live from our news hub, Atomic Junction, Benab House, Accra. My name is Fawzi Abdullah. Coming up this afternoon. The new Patriotic Party has assured that it is fully prepared for its presidential primaries scheduled for January 31st, 2026, assuring credible and transparent election. And in business, year-on-year producer price inflation for all goods and services was up by 1.9% in December 2025. And on the international front, reconstruction is underway in Sudan's capital, Khartoum, where the army-backed government says it plans to return gradually. These and many more stories coming up in the next few minutes. Do stay. You're welcome back and thanks for staying. You're watching Bainat Midday News and we're streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube at Bainat TV. Now let's move on to our very first story. And the new Patriotic Party has assured that it is fully prepared for its presidential primaries scheduled for January 31st, 2026, assuring party members and the public of a credible, transparent and well-secured process. A total of 211,849 delegates are expected to vote at 333 polling centers across the country's 276 constituencies, with polls opening at 7 a.m. and closing at 2 p.m. The chairperson of the NPP Presidential Elections Committee, Mr. Joseph Osei Owusu, said all logistical, administrative and security arrangements had been completed, adding that the Electoral Commission would conduct the entire process.
Mr. Osei also explained that the party worked closely with the EC to identify voting centers, noting that each constituency will generally have one center, except in cases where the number of delegates exceeded 1,000, leading to the creation of additional voting points within the same locality. He said the arrangements resulted in a total of 333 polling centers nationwide, including one of the party's headquarters in Accra. According to him, 2 proposed voting centers were relocated after joint assessments with the EC and constituency executives. A decision he said was unanimously approved by all 5 presidential aspirants. On the delegates register, Mr. Osei also said issues arising from validation, petitions, and corrections were handled transparently, with representatives of all aspirants actively involved throughout the process. Out of an initial list of 213,617 names, he said 2,827 deceased members, 653 persons who had fortified their party membership were removed, leaving 211,849 eligible delegates. Mr. Osei also said the NPP had formally handed over the voting, counting, collation, and declaration processes to the EC, with results to be declared first at polling centers, collated at regional centers, and finally announced at the party's headquarters in Accra. The headquarters, he said, will then officially present the winner to the public. On security, Mr. Osei also said the Ghana Police Service will deploy between 70 and 150 officers at each polling centers, with military support in selected areas, particularly part of the Upper East region. He also announced that proxy voting had been abolished for the primaries to safeguard the integrity and credibility of the process. The 5 aspirants contesting the January 31st NPP presidential primaries are Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, Kwabena Ejia Ejapon, Kennedy Ohine Ejapon, Dr. Brianna Champon, and Dr. Ya Ose Educhum. Mr. Ose also expressed confidence that the process will be widely accepted by all contestants.
Moving on, Northeast and Savannah regions recorded Ghana's highest levels of multidimensional poverty in Q3 2025, with incidence raised above 50%, while Greater Accra and the Western region posted the lowest poverty levels, both remaining below 20%. The stark contrast captured in the latest multidimensional poverty analysis underscores how deeply poverty in Ghana remains shaped by geography, even as national indicators point to gradual improvement. Beyond headline incidence rates, the divide between rural and urban Ghana remains one of the most persistent structural challenges.
Poverty incidence in rural areas climbed to 31.9% in Q3 2025, more than double the 14.2% recorded in urban centers, reinforcing the link between deprivation and unequal access to basic services, infrastructure, and productive economic opportunities. Population size is also reshaping the poverty conversation. While Northeast and Savannah lead in incidence, Ashanti and Eastern regions recorded the highest number of multidimensionally poor people, with more than 1 million affected in each region. The data highlights a critical policy tension. Poverty reduction strategies must address high incidence regions while also targeting high burden regions where large populations translate into significant absolute deprivation. The underlying drivers of poverty remain stubbornly consistent. Living conditions and health deprivations continue to dominate, accounting for the largest share of multidimensional poverty nationwide. In Q3 2025, lack of health insurance coverage alone contributed 26.5%, followed by nutrition 14.4%, employment deprivation 12.3%, school attendance 8.5%, overcrowding 8.4%, and limited access to toilet facilities 8.0%. The figures point to a reality where poverty is still rooted in every living conditions, inadequate housing, weak sanitation, fragile health protection, and limited economic security rather than income alone.
Away from that, the United Kingdom has stepped up efforts to combat organized immigration crime, intensifying measures to dismantle criminal networks and protect the integrity of its borders. A statement issued in Accra said the actions include arrests, asset seizures, and prosecutions aimed at preventing organized crime groups from operating at previous levels.
The statement said in 2022, several cases involving the illegal facilitation of migration using fraudulent travel documents were detected on flights from the Kotoka International Airport in Accra to the United Kingdom. Following the detection, the British High Commission referred the matter to the Criminal Investigation Department of the Ghana Police Service, leading to the arrest of Julian Chiri Akoto Banfo, who was subsequently charged with migrant smuggling. According to the statement, during proceedings at a circuit court in 2025, the accused was granted bail but failed to appear in court, resulting in the forfeiture of his sureties amounting to 45,000 Ghana cedis. It said that on January 14, 2026, Akoto Banfo was convicted and sentenced in absentia to 5 years imprisonment with hard labor and fined 12,000 Ghana cedis. He remains wanted by the Ghana Police Service. The statement noted that the case formed part of broader global effort to combat visa fraud and illegal migration. It recorded In November 2025, the High Commission of Australia, Canada, and the United Kingdom jointly launched a public education campaign during International Fraud Awareness Week to highlight the dangers of visa scams and promote safe and legitimate visa application processes.
Now, further in today's bulletin, the National Identification Authority has announced an adjustment in the prices of some of its services, according to a public notice issued by the authority. In the notice titled Notice of Price Increment, the NIA said the adjustment will affect the cost of several services offered to the public. These include first-time registration, personal information update, replacement service, nationality update, and non-citizen card registration. The authority explained that the price adjustment has become necessary to help it maintain and improve the quality of services it provides to the public. The NIA did not state the new prices in the flyer but appealed to the public for understanding and support. You're still watching Baina Midday News. We'll go for a quick breather, after which we bring you business and more this day.
Many things Muhammad brought Islam. In reality, Muhammad came as a reformer. Before the advent of Muhammad, all the messengers, including Jesus Christ, Habakkuk, Moses, were Muslims. We will be quoting from the Bible and the Quran to let you understand that they were practicing Islam before the advent of Muhammad. Join our team, the Critical Thinkers Dawah, as we throw light on these facts about Islam.
My Journey to Islam, Fridays at 4 p.m. only on Baina TV.
Gadar ya yi baki, amma wai ba za su barin ciniki ba. Baina Trade Connect ba cinikin wasa mutane suka yi ba. Masu sayar da kaya daban-daban, daga na ado har da na ci da sha. Komai da komai, kwana biyu tun da safe har dare. Da aka kare, waɗanda suka ki zuwa sun yi da na sani, amma kaga waɗanda suka zo sun yi ciniki, suka dace kuma suka yi murna. Yanzu dai muna shirye-shirye mu burge ku da na 2026. Shin ba za ka zo ba? Za mu fara ne rana 14 mu kammala rana 15, wato 14th and 15th of February. Ranar Asabar da Lahadi karfe 8 da safe har zuwa karfe 8 da yamma. Shin ba za ka zo ba? Ga lamba buga ya so mu yi fira 0539 48 7757. Baina Trade Connect. Mu mutun wuce, ga mu can za mu wuce.
You're welcome back and thanks for staying. If you just tuned in, you're watching Baina Midday News and we're streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube at Baina TV. Now let's delve into the world of business and the year-on-year producer price inflation for all goods and services was 1.9% in December 2025. This was 0.6 percentage points higher than the November 2025 producer inflation rate, but 24 24.2 percentage points lower than the December 2024 producer inflation rate. On a month-on-month basis, the rate between November and December 2025 was negative 0.8%. Thus, on average, producers' prices for goods and services decreased by 0.8% in December compared to November 2025.
According to data from Ghana Statistical Service (GSS), mining and quarrying, the largest sector with a weight of 43.7%, recorded a 1.0 percentage point increase in producer inflation. This was from 2.3% in November 2025 to 3.3% in December 2025. On the other hand, the manufacturing sector, which makes up 35% of the PPI weight, decreased from 0.5% in November 2025 to 0.1% in December 2025, losing 0.4 percentage points. Also, the producer inflation in the transport and storage sub-sector continued to fall, declining from minus 10.2% in November 2025 to minus 3.7% in December 2025. The GSS urged household and consumers to practice value-based and price-cautious spending using PPI's trends to guide purchasing decisions. It also advised them to adjust consumption choices towards more stable price goods and services to protect real incomes. For businesses, the GSS called for improved cost efficiency and productivity to sustain operation amid mixed sectoral price pressures. It also wants them to reinvest savings from lower input costs such as manufacturing into technology, skills, and supply chain resilience. Regarding government, it called for reduction in structural production caused by strengthening energy supply, transport infrastructure, and logistics systems.
Now let's move on to some news beyond our borders. As Sudan's civil war continues, reconstruction is underway in the capital, Khartoum, where the army-backed government says it plans to return gradually. Many roads in the city have been cleared, rubble is being removed, and cranes now punctuate the skyline. The army retook Khartoum's last march from the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, which it has been battling for nearly 3 years. Prime Minister Kamel Idris' government has been operating from the Red Sea city of Port Sudan, some 700 kilometers away, since the start of the war.
Now, official toll reconstruction sites daily, promising a swift return to normal life. Government headquarters have been refurbished, but many ministries remain abandoned, their walls pockmarked with bullets. For residents and businesses, many problems remain. On Liberty Street, Khartoum's main commercial avenue, only a few of the looted shops have reopened. More than a third of Khartoum's 9 million residents fled when it was seized by the RSF in 2023. Over 1 million have returned since the army retook the city, but the airport remained closed. People have no money, and restoring water and electricity remains the most urgent task. Near the Nile, volunteers are repairing the National Theatre, once graced by performers such as Kulthum and Louis Armstrong. The stage remains intact, but sound and lighting system were destroyed. In recent weeks, officials' visits have multiplied, each bringing fresh promises of aid. A few kilometers away, workers are clearing fallen trees from the red and yellow stand Al Mareh Stadium, nicknamed the Red Castle and home to one of Africa's oldest football clubs. The pitch has been leveled, but machinery lies idle. The last match was played a week before the war. Since then, the club has competed in Rwanda's top division. The United Nations estimates that rebuilding infrastructure in Khartoum will cost at least $350 million.
Moving on to the world of sports, Liverpool left it late to secure automatic qualifications for the Champions League round of 16. With 2 match days remaining, the reigning English champions are currently outside the top 8 with guaranteed automatic qualification. Teams played from 9th to 24th will have to play a 2-legged playoff to reach the round of 16.
Liverpool finished top of the group stage last season, but were then drawn against eventual winners Paris Saint-Germain in the round of 16. This time, Arne Slot's side are taking a different path and may need to go through the playoffs to qualify. Liverpool travelled to Marseille on Wednesday and could be boosted by the return of Mohamed Salah following his involvement at the African Cup of Nations AFCON 2025. He left last month to represent his country after a public dispute with Slot raised doubt about his future. Salah has been unhappy with his lack of playing time and voiced his frustration in an explosive interview. He returns at a crucial moment for the Merseyside club, which is in need of an extra attacking firepower following injuries to Alexander Isak, the club's most expensive signing, and Ugo Ekitike, who has only just returned to action.
Now this brings us to the end of today's news bulletin. For more news, you can visit our website at www.bainamultimedia.com. My name is Fauzi Abdaladu. Have a good afternoon.